Thanks for staying tuned. On the domestic commodity space, our focus is on groundnut. Nigeria is the largest producer of groundnut in sub-Saharan Africa and the fourth largest in the world. However, latest data shows that domestic production fell by 20% to about 2.42 million metric tons. Now, joining us now to tell us why this is so is one of the research analysts with financial derivatives company, Tobiloba Ogunbolu. Good afternoon, Toby. Thank you very much for coming through to us.
Thank you for having me, Chimezi.
So what is the reason for this decline in production of groundnut in Nigeria?
Okay, so yes, Nigeria's production declined by about 10%, and this brought Nigeria to the fourth largest producer from the third largest producer. We were overtaken by the United States. And there are several factors that affect production of groundnut in Nigeria. But the predominant one is the fact that there's insurgency in the north. So 85% of groundnut produced in Nigeria is grown in the north. And the effect of this is that farmers' productivity has reduced, and thus the production has also reduced. So other factors that affect is the poor irrigation. We're also seeing pests and diseases, and also the poor soil fertility in the area. So these factors have affected production of this commodity over the years.
All right, now the leading producers and consumers of groundnut are China, India, and U.S. With the U.S.-China trade war now and the projected decline in Chinese growth in 2019, what will be the impact of these events on global groundnut output and prices?
Well, the U.S.-China trade war will definitely have an impact on China's growth, and this is reflective of the IMF's forecast of a slowdown in China's growth. So we expect, if this happens, we expect the supply of this commodity to reduce. So if this happens, the growth forecast of China, if this reduces, then the demand for this commodity would also reduce. If this happens, there will be a supply glut, and this would also affect the demand for the commodity. So this decline might result. If this decline results to a supply glut, then there will be a drop in price. So the price of groundnut at the moment is about $1,200 per metric ton and $1,300 per metric ton. So if there's a supply glut, that means we might see a further drop in the price to by about say 5 to 10% in the near term.
And one of the main inputs for animal feed is groundnut. The dominant players in this industry are livestock feeds and flour mills. How will the groundnut price movement affect their profitability and share price?
Okay. Yeah. So the effect of this is that we know lower cost of inputs is a good thing for companies such as livestock feed and flour mills Nigeria. So because this is a major input for its animal feed. On the NSC, we know that livestock and animal feed subsector, the share price increased by about 8% year to date. So if this lower cost of inputs improves, then we expect the productivity of companies such as livestock flour mills and flour mills Nigeria to improve in the near term, and we also expect this to reflect subsequently in their results.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Tobiloba. Tobiloba is one of the research analysts with financial derivatives company. Well, in about 35 minutes from now, the Nigerian equities market will wrap up today's trading. At midday, the index was still in the red. Let's get an update from Temple. Hello, Temple. Good afternoon. Okay, bring us up to speed with today's trading activities. Hello, Temple. Bring us up to speed with today's trading activities. Well, we seem to be having issues connecting to Temple Ashaju there. We move on. Now, Ivory Coast is amongst the 20 countries that have significantly improved their scores since 2012 on the Global Corruption Index compiled by Transparency International. On the 2018 Global Corruption Index, more than two-thirds of countries scored below 50, and the average was 43. The average score for EU and Western European countries held steady at 66, while Sub-Saharan Africa scored just 32. A score of 100 is considered very clean, while a score of 0 is highly corrupt. Denmark and New Zealand had the best scores, again scoring 88 and 87, while Somalia, Syria, and South Sudan remained at the bottom with scores of 10, 13, and 13 each. And South African lender ABSA'S CEO Mario Ramos would retire at the end of February after 10 years at the helm, sending the bank shares higher as traders saw this as a chance for a fresh start. Reverend Youngworth will become interim chief executive with effect from March until a permanent appointment is made. ABSA, currently South Africa's third biggest lender, has been trying to carve out a name for itself as a standalone African bank after separating from its parent, Britain's Barclays, in 2017. Ramos stepped down after completing that separation and the relaunch of the brand. And if by the end of Wednesday, January 30, Zimbabwe's government does not make a new salary offer, the labor union will go on strike. The labor unions gave this 48-hour ultimatum after wage negotiations reached a deadlock, raising the prospect of more unrest following this month's violent protests. President Emmerson Mnangagwa is under pressure to deliver on pre-election promises to revive an economy wrecked during the tenure of his predecessor, Robert Mugabe, who ruled for 37 years before being forced to resign after a coup in 2017. Mnangagwa's government has also come under severe criticism for a crackdown on violent protests over a fuel price hike that rights groups say killed at least 12 people and injured scores. The Apex Council, which groups 16 civil service unions, said government negotiators did not bring a new offer at a meeting on Monday. More talks are set for Wednesday. Global oil prices, the price rose today after Washington imposed sanctions on Venezuelan state-owned oil firm PDVSA, a step that may curb the OPEC members' crude exports to the United States. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $52.29 per barrel, up 0.4% from their last settlement. International Brent crude oil futures were at $60.11 per barrel, up 0.3%. The United States remains a major destination for Venezuelan oil, despite their political differences, although volumes have declined in recent years amid Venezuela's economic crisis. As investors shun riskier assets and worries after escalation in Sino-U.S. trade tensions after the U.S. Justice Department charged China's Huawei's Technologies Corporation Limited with fraud. Spot gold was up 0.2% at $1,306.11 per ounce. U.S. gold futures were up 0.1% at $1,304.70 per ounce. In other metals, palladium was steady at $1,331 per ounce. Silver rose 0.2% to $15.17 per ounce, while platinum was up 0.4% to $812.51. That's a wrap on the show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimezi Obi. Welcome.